Warriors are heading back to Cleveland, and here to break down Game 6 with me is Steve Kyler of Basketball Insiders. Steve, we'll start with Andrew Bogut. We saw him leave Game 5 with that knee injury. What are you hearing about his injury, and what is the outlook if the Warriors need to play without him?
Well, one, it's pretty doubtful that he's going to play in Game 6, and I think there's kind of some good news in that when you don't immediately put a guy into the MRI machine, that's always a good sign. So we'll get the absolute prognosis on it, but at least early indicators are that this probably isn't going to be a tear. This might be something that he's ready for Game 7 if there is a Game 7, but I think the Warriors are going to be without Andrew Bogut. And while that's not a huge loss, I mean, certainly other guys on the roster would impact more. The way Festus Ezeli has played specifically against the Cleveland Cavaliers, you hate to lose a guy, but Festus can really step in and really provide a lot of support.
Well, they will have Draymond Green back in Game 6, and gosh, we saw in Game 5 what a difference maker this guy is for this team. How much of a boost is he going to provide them?
Well, it's big, and for a couple of reasons. One, anytime you move a guy back into the rotation, you get a couple of more minutes and a couple of more guys back on the bench. But more importantly, it's all the intangibles that make Draymond such a special player. It's his energy, it's his defense, it's his ability to kind of rile some of the other players. But I think the biggest thing that they were missing in Game 5 was that guy that has kind of the juice and the swagger to kind of get into a Steph Curry or to get into a Klay Thompson and get those guys back on program and get those guys playing at a high level. He brings such a spark and such energy to that team. That's what they'll get back in Game 6, and they're going to need it because that crowd in Cleveland's going to be loud.
Well, we saw in Game 5 a superstar performance from LeBron James and incredible performance from Kyrie Irving as well. The two of them combined for 82. Doubtful that's going to happen again in Game 6. How can Cleveland build on their success? What's the game plan for them?
Well, if you look at really what's been the roadmap for Cleveland all the way through the postseason, as much as you want LeBron to be the superhero, when Kyrie is good and efficient, and I think that's the key part, when he's the efficient scorer, even if he takes a large volume of shots, good things happen. He's a facilitator. You see him more engaged defensively. He opens the floor for other guys and more guys touch the ball. And I think you see it in Tristan Thompson. You see it with Richard Jefferson. You saw it with J.R. Smith, is that even though both Kyrie and LeBron took the volume of shots for the team, the ball moves more when Kyrie is the aggressor. And I think that's the roadmap. It's what helped them win Game 3. It's what helped them win Game 5. And if they want to win Game 6, it's really going to be on the shoulders of Kyrie Irving.
The Cavs head back home with their playoff life on the line. Steve, thanks so much for breaking it down with us.